So on this video here, I'm going to be giving you a comprehensive and easy to follow tutorial here on how to trade the market and how I pick my trade entries for this month. So I shared all of these signals on the group here, and this is not something I'm just making up. As you all know, if you are in the group, you know that I shared the signals and we all made money from it. So let me give you a textbook example before we come to the real chart here. So I make my strategy very simple, yeah, very simple and easy to follow. I just watch out for three things. Yeah, I watch out for structure, I watch out for inducement, and I watch out for a point of interest. So the first one is the structure. Yeah, you want to understand where the market is heading to. Yeah, market structure help you identify two things. It's either the market is going on an uptrend, and if the market is going on an uptrend, yeah, this is an uptrend market. If the market is going on an uptrend, you want to find for a way to position yourself inside of the trend and continue flowing with it. If the market is switching from an uptrend to a downtrend, you want to also find a way to switch and flow along with the market. So in this case here, as you can see, the market is going from an uptrending structure to a downtrending structure. So in this case, you want to understand where the structure is heading to so that you flow along with it. So this is just the first part of the strategy. You want to understand structure. Where is the market heading to? Are we heading up or are we heading down? If we are heading down, you flow with it. If we are heading up, you also flow with it. So once you identify exactly where the structure of the market is going to, then you now want to watch out for inducement. Let me give you an instance of an uptrending market where we just have the markets creating series of highs and low and just going upward. So if we have an instance of a market that is creating series of highs and low like this, now you already understand that, okay, this market is on an uptrend. Yeah, it means you want to find a way to join the market and just keep going up with it. Now you now understand the structure part of it. Then you want to watch out for your point of interest. Now whenever we have an uptrending market like this, there are 2 points of interest we have on the market. We have a unmitigated order block and we have a breaker block. These are the 2 points of interest we have in the market, and you want to pay attention to them. Now your unmitigated order block would be somewhere around this zone. You have I'm going to show you how to spot it on the real chart, though this is just a textbook example. You're going to have an unmitigated order block somewhere around the zone. You're also going to have a order block around the zone that failed and turned to a breaker block around the zone. So this would be your 2 points of interest. You now understand structure, yeah? You understand where the structure is heading to, then you want to understand your point of interest, the breaker block and the order block. Once you understand your structure, your point of interest level, then you want to watch out for inducement. Now, after the break, after you have a failed order block here and the market expands to the upside like this, the first retracement is your point of interest. And I'm going to give you 2 examples. So let's say we have a retracement like this. We have a retracement like this and the market go back up. It means we now have an inducement around this level. It means this level now is our inducement. So you want to be patient to watch out for all of these things before you just take a trade. Yeah, it means this level is our inducement. Now you are going to be trading from the closest point of interest, that is with your liquidity, your inducement liquidity. So this is your inducement liquidity here, which is the closest point of interest that is closest to your inducement liquidity. This is the closest point of interest that is with your inducement liquidity, and that is the point of interest you want to use for your entry here. So if you are taking a long trade to flow with the structure here, you're going to be taking your trade from this point of interest. from that point of interest over here, and you're going to be targeting the high. So in this case here, you're expecting the market to retrace, take out the zone as point of interest, inducement liquidity, and react from this point of interest in which we have here and bounce back up. So this is just you flowing with the already structure that we have. So these are the criteria you want to look for. Let me show you another way this might also present itself. Yeah. So let's say we now have a structure like this, and we have something like this, and the market retrace all the way to this level and bounce back up, or do something like this. Now you already understand this point is your inducement. The first low after we have a break, the first low is your inducement. Yeah. Once you understand where your inducement is, then the closest point of interest to your inducement is where you take your trade from. Inducement, like this. Now we're not going to be using this point of interest here because the price already reacts from it. So any point of interest that this your inducement react from is no more valid. Yeah. This is your first point of interest. This low, which is your inducement low, it reacts from it. So you are not looking forward to taking a trade from this zone already. Then you are going to be taking your trade now from this point of interest here that is not yet mitigated. So you are going to be taking your trade from this point of interest that is not yet mitigated, and you just continue flowing with the trend all the way to the high. So in this case, you understand that once the price just do come back, take out the zone as inducement and react from here, and you just continue going back up from there. And this is you just flowing with the current structure of the market. So let's go back to the charts here. Let me give you an example of how I cut the trades. Now, this is the 30-minute time frame. I use any time frame though. So if you pay attention to what happened here, we had a big drop on BTC all the way on Solana all the way to this side. Then the market gave us this high, this low, this high. At this point now, you now see what the market is doing. The market has started creating series of highs and low. Yeah, the market has started creating series of highs and low. Now let me switch all the way to this zone so you see, understand how I caught the first entry. I told you after we have a break, the first low, after we have a break here, the first low is your inducement. The first retracement here is your inducement. So if you see, after we had this low, this high, this low, we broke out, and this is the first low. That is our inducement. Any other thing there is inducement. So let me go to, I think I picked this straight from the 30-minute time. So if you notice, after we had the break here, this is the first low, inducement. All of this level, the market just created an inducement for you, and this is an order block that is unmitigated. So this order block is unmitigated. After we had this break and the market created inducement, I already understand at this point now, I already understand that the market will still come back and take out all of this inducement and respect from an unmitigated order block. So as you can see, it came, take out this inducement, and this is the point of interest here. It's reacted from there and bounced. So let me show you what happened there. So as you can see, this is the low. After we had the break in market structure, the first low is the inducement, then it came back to that zone, point of interest, then it bounced. Now for this other trade here, I shared all of this trade on the group here. For this other trade here, you can see that the market was, after I reacted from this zone, we have an order block there. I don't want to go deeply into explanation. Then we have, the market is now selling. The market is now selling all the way from this point. So what happened, we saw that the market switched from a downtrend. This was an initial downtrend. Yeah, the market switched from a downtrend, and we start to see the market going up, creating all of this inducement for us. All of this inducement. So I already understand that what the market is doing here is just creating inducement. So I'll just go back and look for my point of interest, which is not yet mitigated. So if you see, I want it to be very obvious. Look at my point of interest here. You can see this, my point of interest is yet to be mitigated. Then we have an inducement there. So what the market just did was that after it broke this low, there is no valid point of interest to trigger. This is just the valid unmitigated point of interest. You want to make sure any trade you are taking is from an unmitigated point of interest. Yeah, so that was why after this break, this is the only valid unmitigated point of interest we have. So this is where I'm going to be taking my trade from, and that was how I caught this trade as well on Solana, and I shared all of them on the platform. This is not something I made up. I shared all the trade on the platform. Yeah. Now I also shared a BTC trade. Let me show you how I got the BTC trade. And it's the same concept on all of them. It's all the same concept. Yeah. So if you take a look at what BTC is doing at this point, we have a declining market creating series of lows. So you can see the market is, at this point, it's very clear that the market is selling. Yeah, the market is dropping in price. The market is dropping in price. Then what happened? This is an initial downtrend. Now the market is switching from a downtrend to an uptrend. So what happened from this point, you can see that the market switched from downtrend to uptrend, created this inducement, the first low inducement, and this. So I already understand all of the inducement. Where is the unmitigated point of interest? You can see how I draw it out here. That is the zone, that is the point of interest that is not yet mitigated, and that is the zone I want to take my entry from. After the break, we have the inducement. This is how I mark it out. This is the unmitigated point of interest. No, you want to pay attention. You want to pay attention to a point of interest that is yet to be mitigated. That is the zone that the price will likely come mitigate before going back up. So this point of interest here is not mitigated, and we have our inducement close to it, and that was why the price triggered from there. And BTC now should come back and take out all of these zones we have here. So basically, I'm still expecting BTC to just go take out this high. The market has been slow off recently, so it's just slow, but it's still going to take out that level though. So that was how I also caught BTC trade. I also shared this signal on the group there. I'm going to share a screenshot. I also share the group. It's not something I make up. I shared all of the trade entry before and after. If you just go and practice this model, you're going to have a very good win rate. So I also take a personal trade on OPUSDT, and I'm going to share with you how I got it as well. So if you see on OP as well, if you pay attention to what is happening, you can see that we have a declining market over here. The market is declining. Yeah, it's very obvious the market is creating a series of flows like this. Then what happened from this side, we saw the market switch structure from a downtrend. This is a downtrend. From a downtrend, the market is now switching to an uptrend. From a downtrend, the market is now switching to an uptrend. Now, why did I pick my entry from this point? This is the point where we have an unmitigated point of interest. You can see how I mark out that candle here. On my next video, I'm going to show you how to spot these candles. Then you just mark it out. It will give you a better risk to reward. So I just spot out that candle. This is my point of interest here, and I have an inducement close to it. And as you can see, the point of interest is not yet mitigated. That's why as the trade mitigated it, immediately just bounced from there. And I'm still expecting this as well to just go and take out the high. So as you can see, it's the same concept here. Over and over again, it's the same concept. You just want to pay attention to understanding it here. Anyways, if you want a more detailed, I have a one-on-one course. If you want a more detailed explanation for those that did want more detailed explanation, but you can just go through, use the same format, and you're going to have a very good win rate here. And that is just it for this video. I'm going to drop, if you're not on the platform and you want to really learn and also trade our signals, I'm going to drop the link to the Telegram group in the description box below. I also trade with Hyro prop firm. If you want to get an account and scale up, the link would be in the description box. And if you buy an account using my link, if you buy any prop firm using my link, I'm also going to be guiding you. So you send me a message. I'm also going to be guiding you on how to pass the account and get funded. I'm going to be showing you a plan you're going to use to get funded. See you on the next video.